Hi, my name is Emily Zambiazzi, and I will be presenting on the Orange County oil spill. In October 2021, a large oil spill occurred in Orange County, California. This was following a pipeline leak owned by the Amplify Energy Company. This resulted in 3,000 barrels of crude oil spilling into the Pacific Ocean, which caused environmental impacts such as wildlife deaths and wetland damage, as well as economic impacts due to beach closures and commercial fishing bans. The leak in the oil pipeline occurred 5 miles off the shores of Huntington Beach, California. In October 2021, an alarm alerted controllers at Amplify Energy of a possible oil leak. However, the oil spill was not reported for 13 hours. It was said that the Coast Guard could not look for the spill after dark, local authorities could not initially find the oil spill, and Amplify Energy did not respond to the alarms in a timely manner. Upon investigation, a cargo ship anchor hit the pipeline during high winds back in January 2021. According to prosecutors, Amplify Energy neglected to respond to oil leak alarms and was indicted in December 2021 for illegally discharging oil. They argue that they did not respond to the alarms in time because the January ship collision displaced the pipeline and caused the alarm system to malfunction. The crew was also said to be understaffed and overworked. The company could ultimately face millions of dollars in fines and at least 5 years of probation if they're convicted. Although there were no human deaths from the oil spill, there were many environmental impacts. 45 birds died and 28 were rehabilitated, but of those 28, 6 more birds did not survive. The oil spill threatened coastal wetlands that took years to recover after a different oil spill that had occurred in 1990. Wetlands provide habitat for over 90 species in addition to absorbing greenhouse gases and filtering water, and these wetlands could now take decades to recover. Orange County estimates that the cost would be around $1 million. However, the long-term economic impacts faced by the beachfront businesses is still to be determined. Although there were no known epidemiological studies specific to the 2021 Orange County oil spill, there have been many studies done in the past on physical and mental health effects of oil spills. The first study that we will explore looks into the respiratory health effects of exposed fishermen after the Prestige oil spill. Fishermen that participated in the oil spill cleanup from 2002 to 2003 were compared with non-exposed fishermen. The association between exposure to the oil spill and respiratory function were analyzed through linear and logistic regression. Because there was a 4-year follow-up period, loss to follow-up in the non-exposed group may have created bias in the study. This study ultimately concluded that there were no significant long-term respiratory health effects in the exposed fishermen. In another study done on the development of long-term adverse health effects in oil spill cleanup workers of the Deepwater Horizon offshore drilling rig disaster, it was found that oil spill cleanup workers actually had worsened hematological, hepatic, pulmonary, and cardiac function compared to the unexposed group 7 years after the cleanup. A small sample size and lack of pre-disaster health records were limitations of the study, but ultimately this study shows that long-term health effects should be considered after oil spills. There were 1,800 workers involved in the oil spill cleanup, and this took a total of 3 months to remove oil-contaminated sand and debris. Amplify Energy was criticized for neglecting to respond to the leak alarm in a timely manner, which caused the majority of the oil spill to be preventable if it was caught on time. They were also negligent by not having adequate staffing and failing to repair the malfunctioning alarm system. A positive aspect of the cleanup was the collaboration between Amplify Energy's response team and local, state, and federal agencies during the cleanup. Amplify Energy was also criticized regarding its communication about the event. At a press conference days after the oil spill was detected, the company's CEO refused to answer questions about the timeline of the oil spill and reported that the company did not know about the oil spill until the next morning. This was later found to be untrue when information about the leak alarms was released. These discrepancies contributed to mistrust between the corporation and the community. Not only did the Amplify Energy oil spill result in possible long-term health effects of cleanup workers, long-term environmental and economic damage for Orange County, but also it led to Amplify Energy's indictment and a bill to stop offshore oil production in California waters by 2024. State Senator David Min advocated for passing this bill to protect the environment and the economy of California's coastline from additional oil spills. Negative consequences include possible tax increases and the need to import oil via tanker ships, which would further crowd ports. It would cost between $25 to $50 million each to buy out each existing oil rig, but this amount pales in comparison to the $44 billion economic value of California's coastal economies that remain at risk during oil production. Perhaps, instead of increasing oil imports or production, California could focus on renewable energy production through wind and solar. This would ultimately reduce costs, and the environmental and human health impacts would be drastically less than oil production. These are my references, and thank you for listening to this presentation.